Finally got something showing here. 8 foot down. First bottle of the day. My buddy helped me start this hole. Interesting. Decker. And it's broken. Well, I whacked the side with my spud bar and out came this. So, probably gonna say cigarettes. Let me see the base. Yep, cigarettes. Oh, it's damaged really bad, so probably gonna leave it. They're so common anyway for a hutch. Found a bunch of them out of here already. Got an aqua crown top here. Kind of looks like a beer. If so, that'd be interesting because there ain't too many aqua crown top beers in here. Maybe it is a soda, I don't know. Yeah, it's a soda. Okay, this is a newer hole. Gotta say cigarettes, Dayton, Ohio. Something else showing down here. Beer. Oh no, Duffy's. Alright, well, got them both spots. Well, shout out to my buddy Billy for pointing this place out to me. So it has a bottle showing here. It's a random construction area. I don't know if this is whole or not, though. It's not very old, but it is a bottle. If it's whole. Just so muddy in here, it's just hard to... That's broken. What's up, everyone? Gonna do a quick privy dig. This privy was actually found by a non-bottle guy, but he's nice enough to tell me about it and get me the permission, so I'm gonna jump in there and start digging away. Keep you posted if I find anything. Well, I thought this was a privy, but now I'm thinking it's just an area where they dump stuff. Well, you see there's carpet there, there's a bunch of bricks and mortar, but what there isn't is a distinctive wall I can see so far, so I'm going to poke around with the probe a little bit and see if I can feel anything. If not, I'm probably just going to fill it in. I don't want to waste any more time than I already have. Well, out digging today with Tommy. Thanks to him for driving us here. Got my first complete thing showing here. Crock. That's almost there. Almost. So we got kicked out of the one area and then we tried another area and now we're trying this area. And Tom has him a couple bottles, I guess, so see what he pulls out of there. Horlicks malted milk.
Horlicks malted milk.
Alright. That one's ground lip at least, so that's a good sign. And the slick.
Rick.
Alright. Our bottle showing Sounders or Richmond flavoring, probably. It's a Sounders from Dayton, Ohio. Got something else showing now. Okay. Condiment bottle. Pull it out when it's out. Those are slick, no embossing. Cool shape though. Tom has him a bottle now.
Alrighty, what is that? A whiskey?
It looks like one of them GW Abbott bottles from Baltimore.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Tom already has another one. He's doing great today. Alright, yeah, looks good. Big old quart beer, maybe. Oh, nice blob. Lightning blob. Hopefully that's not the top for that bottle you're digging.
No, this is clear. That's brown.
Okay, yours is clear. Okay, maybe a whiskey or a fruit jar then.
Yeah, a good fruit jar.
Fruit jars are nice to dig.
Black sealer.
Oh, heck yeah, man. A complete one. That's pretty good.
Slick,
Yeah, they're still fun to dig. Yeah, got a little bit of lip chips, but it's still nice wax seal. Yeah, they're worth keeping. Yeah, I wouldn't. Those are nice.
We worked too hard for these bottles.
Oh, I got something showing down in here. Beer or something. Oh yeah, blob. Is it slick or something? Sure it looks like one. I don't even see a seam on this thing. Dot base one. Oh, okay.
An old one, ain't it?
Oh. Blob out of here. So here's some glass from recent dig cleaned up. Decker, pepper sauce, cigarettes Hutch, cigarettes Crown, Rio Chemical Company, Decker, Dr. Pierce's, another cigarettes. Here's a Johann Hoff. Looks like an amber. Usually I thought these were green. So that's kind of cool. Taco. I got one of these lids here. And this one's best find of them all. Cigarettes Crown with a pleated base. Very hard to get. I've only seen a few examples of that bottle ever. The Hutches and Crowns, as on the regular ones, such as these, are much more common. Anyway, this is all I got out of this. That's one of the early pipes. Kind of like what I find in the pipe dump. I don't know if I will ever find a dump that old again, to be honest. I would sign a waiver, because I'm not worried about whatever it is when it comes to stuff that old, because a dump that old is a once-in-a-lifetime find. So anyway, I guess I'll show you this. We went to a different dump, and we got a few things. These are my picks, or digs, whatever you want to call it. Bromo Seltzer. I do have a guy that buys these right now off me, so that is one common bottle that I'm happy to find. Here's a different Horlicks, for me anyway. It's made by the WT company, White Altatum, and it has a ground lip, which is really cool, because most of these are machine made. This one's chipped up, but it's Madison Brewing Company, Madison, Indiana. It has a chip up there and a chip on the heel. So yeah, that wraps it up. So we arrived at the dump. It was a dump that my buddy tipped me off about. I didn't know for sure where it was, but I had an idea of where it was located. But I wasn't positive. But anyway, he found it and told me where it was. And there was no workers when he went, but when me and Tom went, there was people working there, so we knew after driving 3 hours that we needed to get permission, because that's the only way we were going to be able to dig that, unless we waited till way late in the evening and start digging. But there really wasn't nothing for us to do around town that long, because we didn't have nowhere else to dig, as we were not familiar with the area. So anyway, we approached one guy, who directed us to another guy, who directed us to another guy, who directed us to another guy, who finally said, yeah, you can go check it out or whatever. But I guess he didn't run the site. So anyway, we started digging and dug some slicks on the pipe. Everything else is broke. But as we were digging, I noticed the guy that gave us permission kept walking over and looking at us on the phone with someone. I heard them say that we were digging, which really we asked permission to poke around, not really dig. Of course, we did some digging, but someone had been digging a lot. I think a couple local diggers have, or had. So they dug it so bad that almost everywhere was caved in and overhung real bad. So I figured, well, he's probably calling the one guy because he's probably worried we're a liability. So I started taking my garden claw and just whacking the top real hard. And also just whacking at the lower layers with it, just twisting and caving it in. Because I was like, well, I'll just make the area look safer. But that was a mistake because the guy that gave us permission, he apparently was on the phone with the guy that ran the area because he came over and said, oh, we can't have you in here. It's contaminated or something like that. He is polite about it, I'll give him that, but yeah, I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen. But I was mad at myself the rest of the day because I would have rather just dug straight into the layer that produced bottles rather than waste time trying to make it safer if I would have for sure known that was going to happen. So I was kind of mad at myself and depressed the rest of the day because I just saw my opportunity to dig earlier bottles than I've ever dug go down the drain, because there was just some insane shards there. There were shards of really early bitters, wines, and there was ale shards. There was a cobalt squat soda shard there. And most of the shards were that old. It looked like a 1880 to 1860 dump. So that's the earliest dump I've ever seen. So yeah, it kind of put me in a bad mood the rest of the day. So hopefully I didn't upset Tom or anything, because I wasn't mad at him or anything. It was just the opportunity was gone, and I really wanted that opportunity to work out. Or I should say I wanted to have the opportunity to dig that place. I'm not a privy digger. I'd love to dig them, but I can't find them, and I don't have the best social skills at talking to people, so I miss out on the opportunities for those too, because I have to have someone with me who's more knowledgeable than me to dig them. And those people who are like that already seem to have certain people that they dig with and only them, or they just aren't willing to make time to dig privies or find them anymore. Then when it comes to the early construction dumps, well, times have changed. People just are really reluctant to give permission anymore, especially construction workers, because all anyone cares about is money. So if they're worried it's going to cost them something by me digging, it's not happening, and that's every time. Oh, we can't have you in here, it's a liability. So that's always what happens. So the only way you can dig a construction dump in this day and age is either by having a connection or by going in when they're not working. And that's the sad truth of it. There's a lot of people who act like you're the devil for not getting permission to dig somewhere, but, well, anytime I've asked permission to dig at a construction area, it's always a liability. So the only way you are going to dig at all in one is by sneaking in. I mean, unless you're someone who is really good at talking to people or has connections, then yeah, you can maybe dig it then. But anyway, you can't dig bottles if you don't at least try and get out and find somewhere to dig. So we did that, so we can say we tried anyway. I am thankful for the people that I do dig with. I mean, it is good to have digging buddies, of course. And hopefully I'm able to dig with each and every one of them at least one more time before I move back to Southeast Ohio. So I've got probably 4 people I dig with now. Tom, Billy, and a couple guys named Jeff. So if we can all get together one-on-one or as a group one more time before I move, then that'd be great. That is it.